Welcome to On the Beat. Today I am joined by Robert from Robert's Apothecary and also Margo Allgood, who is with Revive Wellness and Aesthetics of Starkville. And the topic we are talking about today, I need, because it's stress and chronic stress. So if you can tell us, how do you define chronic stress?
Sure. So chronic stress is essentially a state of feeling overwhelmed, tense, pressured for a prolonged period of time.
And so that is different than regular stress we may encounter
Right.
daily.
So you can have regular stress, but when it keeps happening over and over and again without sufficient recovery from that, it can take a toll on your health significantly and you can start to feel really bad.
And so for somebody who comes to you and says, I have those symptoms that you just described, what do I do?
Sure. So at Revive, we have a test that we can order, which is a cortisol curve test. It's a saliva test, and it allows us to see, what your cortisol pattern is throughout the day. So patients that are under chronic stress can have a dysregulated cortisol curve. A normal cortisol curve should be, it spikes in the morning, roughly 30 minutes after you get up, and then it gradually comes down. And then patients with chronic stress can see a change in this to maybe where it doesn't spike in the morning and it stays low all day and it spikes in the evening. Or perhaps if they've been under severe stress for a prolonged period of time, it's just kind of a flat line and there's no deviation to that. So we can check for that and recommend several different things.
And this is serious. I think people say, well, we're all stressed, but yet what you were telling me before we started, it can lead to other conditions that could be very serious.
Certainly. So what happens when you're under stress is your body senses danger or a threat, and it activates your sympathetic nervous system, which drives up your stress hormones. And these hormones will increase your heart rate, your blood pressure, your blood sugar. It will increase your appetite over time and store fat. So what can happen with this happening repeatedly and you're not getting a break from it is you can start to gain weight. You can damage your arteries and develop heart disease, high blood pressure. You could have mood changes to where you're developing depression, anxiety, brain fog. You can have hormone imbalances. So patients may start to have menstrual irregularities or sexual dysfunction. Every system in the body is affected with chronic stress.
Well, and the good news that you're here to tell us about too is you have solutions. And one thing that I love about both of your practices, it's individualized.
Sure.
So talk us through with what are those treatments that you can provide?
Sure. So, we're going to have extensive education on diet, exercise, and sleep. So, for instance, with diet, someone that's fasting, restricting your calories can be actually a stressor. So maybe that's not a good idea in a patient that's been chronically stressed. Or exercise, for example, someone that's being bombarded with stressors, in different areas, and they're going to the gym 5 nights a week and doing high intensity training. Maybe we need to, modify that exercise program a little bit. And of course, sleep. Most people don't get enough sleep and they don't get good quality sleep. So we have lots of tools in our bag to help improve that. We have
what do we have here?
Some interesting things right here, yes. One of the things that I will recommend are adaptogens, and there's multiple different ones of those. And that basically helps to regulate your cortisol response and make you more resilient to the stress response.
Okay, and then for getting more information, how would they contact both of you?
Yeah, so our office, I think, is it listed on the screen, and just call in and make an appointment.
Wonderful. So very serious condition that we definitely can get help from with both what you can provide at Robert's Apothecary and then also at Revive Wellness and Aesthetics of Starkville. Thank you both for being here with us today.
Yeah, thank you.
And that's today's On the Beat.